Governor Moeno flags off construction of Ndia Street, promises to make a mark in his first 100 days in office. Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly constitutes committees. Plus, experts identify human activities as factors inhibiting efforts of government towards achieving healthy environment. Good morning and welcome to the news at 10. I am Calvin Samuel with details of the headline and other stories. Do stay with us and please note that this broadcast is reaching you live on StarTimes channel 103 and of course our social media platforms, the Facebook and YouTube. Do well to follow our pages for regular authentic updates. Now, Akwa Ibom State Governor Moeno has promised to make a mark in his first 100 days in office. The governor who flagged off the construction of a 750 meters Ndia Street expected to be completed and delivered within the period is one of such projects. The report.
Governor, while performing the flag off, says it is in fulfillment of his promise when he visited Akpanande Market during campaigns. He also approved the installation of portable water scheme, a state-of-the-art convenience, solar-powered lights in the market in addition to the construction of internal roads in the area. The governor, who assures of his administration's commitment to ensure dividends of democracy spread across the state, also announced most streets that will receive attention soon.
We'll do the drainages, we'll do the internal roads. Then, between now and 29th of March, we'll flag off Tabernacle Road, Goreti School Road, Kikorekbene. I understand that one too is bad. We are going to fix that road. We are going to do it because it's been bad. We are trying to ensure that we touch and touch and touch. These roads are economically viable roads.
The project is to be executed by Hensec Integrated Services. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the governor of Akwa Ibom State Moeno has approved the dissolution of all non-statutory boards, agencies and commissions in the state with immediate effect. This is contained in a release signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Prince Enobon Owa. Consequently, the affected officials have been directed to hand over to the most senior civil servants in their respective boards, agencies and commissions. The release conveys the deep appreciation of the governor to the affected boards, agencies and commissions chairmen and members for their contributions to the development of Akwa Ibom State and wishes them well in their future endeavors. Moving forward, the Cross River State government is working in synergy with the organized labor towards providing palliative for residents to cushion the negative impact of the removal of fuel subsidy on the people. These and more than 22-point positions formed part of agreement between both parties when the labor leaders visited the state governor, Senator Basi Otu, in his office. Paul Abel has details.
Is the first time the organized labor will be meeting with Governor Basi Otu after his inauguration, as they did not hide their commendations over recent appointments and takeoff of the governor in the state. Yet, led by the NLC chairman, the organized labor marshaled out its position to include liaising with labor to appoint special advisor on labor, conducting personnel audits, improving on internally generated revenue, providing permanent office accommodation for MDAs, among other critical demands.
There should be a personnel audit of the entire civil service in Cross River State, and including all our tertiary institutions, state tertiary institutions. Labor leaders should always be carried along in most of the critical decision making in the state.
Governor Basi Otu stated that the state government will cooperate with labor and other stakeholders while aligning with the positions of labor as it seeks to change the narrative, but appeals for patience to get things in better shape.
And each state has its own peculiarities. That is why we still have to synergize so that whatever palliative will be put in place will be such that it will mitigate and ameliorate the sufferings of our people. We are trying to do a personal audit right now, which we might need your help where it's necessary. What we're asking is everybody will go to DSS and do proper documentation, so that if your papers have some issues, from there you go to court.
In the struggle for our members, there is victory for all.
At the end of discussions, it was smiles and laughter as both parties agreed to collaborate and schedule for a more elaborate sessions towards moving the state forward. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
On legislative matters, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has inaugurated House committees to ensure the smooth running of the House. The Speaker Udemo Otong made this known by reading names of members and chairmen of each committee during Thursday plenary. Nsika Okon has details.
As members of the 8th Assembly resume work, the Speaker Udemo Otong announces the constitution of the 26 standing committees of the 8th Assembly, and the Advisory Committee on Parliamentary Matters is chaired by the Speaker Udemo Otong. Other committees are that of Women Affairs, headed by Selina Okpatu, Jerry Otu, Chairman Committee on Information. Chairman Committee on Health is Moses Essien. Chairman on Boundary and Conflicts Resolution is chaired by Precious Selon. Committee on Science and Technology is headed by Udwak Ekpofort, while Kenem Onofiok chairs the Committee on Education. Committee on Security, Youth and Sport is headed by Uwemedi Mosokwo. Committee on Rural Development, Power, Water and Public Utility is to be chaired by Asukwo Nana. Effiong Johnson is the chairman of the Committee on Industry, Commerce and Tourism. Committee on Intergovernmental and Special Projects is headed by MM Odom. Committee on NEDC is chaired by Kofre Edidem. Committee on Appropriation and Finance, Itoro Etam. Eric Akpan is the chairman, Committee on Public Accounts. Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters is headed by Mfon Idung. Committee on Works and Transport, Otobong Bob. Committee on Agriculture, Obong Ota. Committee on House Services, Lawrence Udoide. Committee on Environment, Basi Pius. Committee on Labor and Productivity, Sunday Ufot. And Committee on Rules, Business and Ethics, Prince Akpabio. Committee on Judiciary, Justice and Public Petition, Anefiok Atta. Committee on Special Projects Monitoring and Implementation, Uwemi Moita. Lands and Housing, Samson Idiom. Committee on Economic Planning and Development, Nsidibe Akata. Committee on Petroleum Matters, Udobia Friday. The Speaker Udemo Otong charged them to get ready to exercise their committee's responsibilities to justify their mandate. The House was adjourned to reconvene on 11 July 2023 in Uyo, Nsika Okon, NTA News.
Indiscriminate dumping of refuse, poor maintenance of government infrastructures may be some factors inhibiting the effort of government to healthy environmental conditions. A case in point is the destruction of some buildings and fence in Government Technical College, Abak, from where our correspondent Utibe Achibon reports.
For over a decade, residents of Ukwabak and neighboring communities have, by their activities, hindered developmental strides within the communities. With erosion encroachment destroying buildings in Government Technical College and fears that there are likelihoods that more infrastructure in its pathway may be destroyed, residents are sending an SOS message. Some concerned Nigerians say in what was supposed to stop erosion encroachment in the school about 15 years was sealed with refuse and soil and used as farmland, as well as construction sites by members of communities around the school.
These are professionals. We decided to divide them into 3 groups: erosion committee, fence committee, building committee. So erosion committee, I gave them a task. They must discover where we can channel water out of the school. In the process of looking for a way, they came to this place and discovered that during the construction of Ikorabasi Road, that Julius Berger built a canal that can take water from the community, Okoba community, to this place. But unfortunately, when they discovered there is no way they know that there's a canal, the community has filled up the entire canal with waste.
I've already thrown something inside the gutter. So that means I get the gutter, whenever they throw something, even in the market, people will bring something inside the market. When they come here with bike, they throw inside the gutter. When they throw inside the gutter will block.
Some teachers in the school expressed deep concern, especially during the rainy season, and appealed to government at all levels for immediate intervention.
The community didn't do really well, because when we get into this act, you'll see different entries into the school compound. So you have volume of water coming in and it erodes everything that should be done. So we trust God that as the federal government and state government can come in to help us check the phase of what is happening, we'll be a happier school.
It is a deliberate thing. The communities and others, for the real father, to discourage their subject from channeling water into this community. You need to see when it rains.
We've seen why Technical Government College, our bag is flooded with water whenever it rains. One of the reasons is the indiscriminate dumping of refuse right within the school by the communities. We are calling on all the relevant authorities to come to Government Technical College, our back here in Akwa Ibom State, to rescue us, to rescue the students and the staff.
We are begging the government, we are begging everybody to come into our rescue, to be able to see that they could stop this from happening, because it's not ideal packing refuse inside a school.
Government projects for any people these Nigerians maintain should be properly managed for the purpose they are meant for. From our back local government area, Utebe Achibong, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Professor Akpan Hogan Ekpo Center for Public Policy, University of Uyo, is organizing its 5th annual lecture entitled Protest Matters, the Effect of Protest on Economic Redistribution. The lecture, which will be delivered by Professor Belinda Achibong of Bernard College, Columbia University, USA, is billed for Monday, June 26, 2023 at the main campus of the university along Waneba Road by 10 a.m. in the morning. A statement signed by the Registrar Blossom Okori indicates that Professor Emmanuel Acting of the Department of Economics, University of Uyo, will be the second speaker at the event, while the Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo, Professor Nyaudo Ndayo, will be the chief host. By this release, members of the academia, policymakers, top government officials, captains of industries, and the general public are invited. In Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, reactions have continued to trade the Tertiary Education Act, otherwise known as Student Loan Act, as recently assented to by President Tinubu. Umar Basiedet report that stakeholders, while lauding the long-term benefits of the loan, also expressed their concerns, especially on the repayment conditions. The report.
The Student Education Law, according to the federal government, is aimed at providing interest-free loans to Nigerians seeking higher education. While several terms and conditions apply, one of such, which is also of concern, is the loan repayment. According to the provisions of the law, the students are expected to pay back in installment 2 years after graduation. This therefore places a huge responsibility on school administrators as regards the completion of studies as at when due.
But some constraints could be in forms of facilities, which we have been talking to the federal government to fund, because part of the funding we are talking about is to provide the facilities so that students can graduate in time.
We all know the areas of challenges in the tertiary institutions that prevent students or graduates from being mobilized to go for NYSC on time. And all those things are not far-fetched from relating to government controls and policies. So I think with this loan, the calculation will go down line and certain policies will be softened. That's
Beyond this, how financially equipped would the students be to enable them raise money for repayment shortly after graduation, especially in the face of dwindling job opportunities across the country?
education without skill, you've not started.
We expose the students to different skills. We even send them out to some of the businesses around to go and then learn how to acquire skills.
Some undergraduates share their thoughts on Nigeria's new student loan scheme.
That one will motivate a lot of students to be in school. It will reduce the number of hooligans around, and it will make the progress of the country.
Providing loan helps aid for students to continue their education, but on the other hand, I think there are some negative side to it too, because first and foremost, there are no jobs. If the students eventually now are done with schooling and they said the duration of payment of the loan is 2 years, so if there are no jobs, on the other side we all know the situation in the country, there are no jobs on ground, so the means of students paying up the loans now, there are no means.
While many are optimistic on the long-term benefits of the student loan, some also have their reservations. From Uyo, Umo Basidit, NTA News.
Ayodeji Makinde is our guide on sports updates.
Bendel Insurance defeated Enugu Rangers by a lone goal to emerge winners of the Federation Cup at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba, Delta State. In the third meeting in the final of the oldest club competition in the country, Imade Osarenko converted from the penalty spot in the 4th minute of first half added time after Chinemerem Ugweze was sent off for a second bookable offense. Bendel Insurance will now play in the CAF Confederation Cup next season alongside Rivers United, while Nigeria League champions Egimba are in the CAF Champions League with Remo Stars.
Celebration will go on and on and on and on, and they have deserved it.
In the women's category, Bayelsa Queens retained their title after defeating Rivers Angels 4-2 via penalties following a goalless scoreline in regulation time. Team Nigeria told the tech ball event of Africa Beach Games in Hammamet, Tunisia, continue to intensify preparations ahead of their opening contest June 23, where Nigeria #1 Victor Oyemade will hope to qualify for a slot for the men's singles at World Beach Games slated for Bali, Indonesia, August 5 to 12. 3 tech bowlers and 1 official arrived in the North African country earlier on Wednesday with determination to make podium finishes in men's singles, men's doubles and mixed doubles events, as Team Nigeria targets improving on a second place finish at the 2019 edition of the Games, which held in Seoul, Cape Verde. In tennis, 5-time champion Venus Williams and former world #3 Elena Svitolina have wildcard entries into Wimbledon, which serves off July 3 to 16. For the 3-year-old Venus, ranked 697th in the world, returns to action this month at the Birmingham Classic after a 5-month injury layoff. With sports updates, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
To end the news this morning, another look at the major stories. Governor Moeno has flagged off construction of Ndia Street promises to make a mark in his first 100 days in office. Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has constituted committees. You also heard in the news that experts have identified human activities as factors inhibiting effort of government towards achieving healthy environment. That will be all from the English segment of the news. I remain Kelvin Samuel, urging you to be a star by joining NTA's campaign to stand against rape and rapists. Do have a good day.
ete umoino abere utomu babuson ake ndi ya ufo utomu bombe ke stedngen esungom mon siri da is siri kamutom ke uforodo etangebo ke mewo ese snowball ke adinam no mensini fa ukayena ma adinam mbonowo ekobinem ke nkankok awongo ikpu akwa ibo meme siere amin kere ememu ime mbo ya ino mpanguton ke membaksi ni mfnemi akamuka stadium ete umoino awongo ke atisem akpa useni kieke ke ndara ukarimo ke iyaina nga mem ngwonda mkpo se anyene wo ediket ke steremi ke ketu memkpo ayeta ngami adoke eya bob usondi ya adginion ke mita ikie itiaba yeba yeduo eyon ekwenge ke idara etangami ya ikobo yokombomi ito kombonyan
akamuka sirete umono idanye abereke baatore tongu tome bigidiongu sondi yami amatanga bokedo ketu mempo imoiki tanga ida imoisoki yembono efi ubokeno imonte kamuka siremi ke imoyaidise udwa akpanandem ayenko sokotanga boke ya esen monge sangokwa ke usongodo imane bob me usong fen ke me farado kenye sokona maru do nyema sokotanga boke si ambono kwa ibo me ke fi ubok eno imo dogi dante kamuka siremi ke mensunsu mbono wo yemme fak ya soke kaiso edia ofon eto ukarimo ebokedo itutum ayin siremi aniege adom yosibi kama utomudio musongomi miku yo utebe achibong akombok enti
akamuka stadium ete umoino abo yakme kama utom ke mofo utom boards agency nkoro commissions ekedu orudu uswan utomomi uswan miti utomomi asneke nwed atagwen prince enobon wa akesioro ebo yak mbo yak mutom eno monsikpon kan kufo utom mo ket etu moino akomo mo ke me nti utom mo eke na ma aridepe nkot Akwa Ibom state etangebo kedanga mewo esedu ngombio nange mama ukama mempo ukara ebono ke mitie ket adina mwem mbonowo ke isongidon ademe akeme ndikpan nsini fak ukara enama adikan mbo ke nkankok mewo anememo adidon nwonda kid ado nanga ewu oko from with government technical college ke abak ye me uforofen utuba chiwo ko mbonyen akama nyoron so mbromi
eboke muwari swakede mkoke mbono woke idong ekoto okwa bak ye mensunsu itimfen ekama mubong mo kene mensunsu runam semonam ebiat mentutum ukara ina mamba aturu anwa medongoro ke mempo moina mami anam mongedem asi akpongo songonye kpesanga ke akedongo ufongwede kodo government technical college ke nkokara abak abiat mempodo aminam boniro ngoro nkeso kesunu yo eboki mi yemungam yosong bono wida ke ni neme yemme kombok ema tangebo kukara ema ekpe mbono wo utom moedi tappe usong mongedem ba todo mongedem se afeke frokini edeme depe aro boniro ngoro yemme mbogo idong fin ese ekonombio ekedong ke gotami edong tantutu itiendo disre arido se moy kama etompo ebo foke manena mensunsio mkpo kitiro amena muba mendikbebe bangake kufongwe technical ami ebokero mkpo ariokota tete moesunu yekuru karebo mbok ya esoge dianu bok esunu wam mbage siumong ke ufongwerero amoesoge dianu eboke mkpo kere kedogodo ukara enamma kero mbaga toro anwam mbonowo enamma mkpo reno kidogo se bonowo gbese kamobong mo emane biat utomukara mike nko karabak utebe achibong akombok enti
Akwa Ibom aten bong nyene trero baga senemi tutu inen feni mai mani dukete abaseri Akwa Ibom.